What is up, gang? Uncle Travis coming to you from the Franklin area today. Got an interesting project today. We're doing what we call faceplate surgery. Some of you may have encountered this, and some of you may have even had us do it for you already. As more and more homeowners move to Nashville, we find more and more ponds that have been constructed that we didn't even know about, and they're super old, or maybe in some cases weren't quote unquote done the right way. So what can happen is the faceplate after time starts to pull away from the skimmer, and it creates a gap, and you literally are losing water behind that seal. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna downstack the rocks, go through the process of what we do to do a surgery. Then we're gonna put a new seal on the skimmer, reattach it with new stainless steel bolts, and restack everything up, rinse it down, fill it up, plug it in. Let's check it out. So we don't take the word surgery lightly when we do a faceplate surgery. I want to show you a little bit about what goes into a faceplate surgery that qualifies it as such. So as I said before, the bolts on the faceplate, which we can't see yet on this one, I'll show you on the back side here momentarily. The bolts have corroded and the seal has come apart. So what I have to do is I literally have to downstack all of these rocks and give myself enough liner to work with so I can unscrew these, drill them out, bore them out, clean them off, whatever I need to do. So as you can see, these bolts that are above the water level, they're old, they've got some corrosion on them, but they're still intact. And if you look at what should be the next bolt down, it is almost completely gone. The one even below that is even further gone, and the one below that is non-existent. It looks like someone has come in and tried to stem this leak at some point with an aftermarket sealant, which is just looks like plumber's putty. It's just crumbling under my fingers. So we definitely know we're losing water here. Someone else has known we're losing water here at some point and has tried to fix it. So we're gonna come in and do the surefire thing. So what the homeowner had done here is tried to patch the skimmer from the inside with some plumber's putty. Jamie is now pretty much done, but she's going through the process of taking off the original silicone sealant and getting the inside of the liner cleaned and prepped for the surgery. This is what the silicone looks like back on the inside, and as you can see, Jamie peeled it just right off. This is still a relatively healthy bolt from the top. If you remember, I said these weren't underwater, so while they are corroded and worn out, they were still pretty viable because no water damage had happened. This one was underwater. So just a quick comparison as to what super unhealthy and unhealthy look like. There's even the Phillips head on that one, and what is left of the Phillips head on that one. So underwater, this was about the best you were gonna get for the bolts. The rest of them were actually already mostly gone, and someone had tried to fill that in with silicone as well. What we are going to replace these with are brand new stainless steel bolts. Now the old hardware that the existing bolts threaded into is also gone, so what we're going to have to do is drill that old hardware out, put our new stainless steel bolts in, put a washer on the backside, and then tighten them down with a nut. Then, if you remember from our skimmer install video, I am going to go on the outside with silicone and on the inside with silicone to protect these even more from that corrosion, adding even more life to already super strong stainless steel. Next step is to get the old hardware out of here. Whenever I can, if it's possible, if the old hardware is viable, I will leave it. But what happens after time is these corrode and probably just need to come out. Again, these at the top are out of the water. You know, the water level's about here. So these usually aren't nearly as damaged as what's underwater. The one down here in the bottom corner was already just gone when we got here. I was able to push the drill straight through it. So this one still has the threaded hardware in the skimmer, and the bolt is still in it. It broke off. So we'll have to do a little wrestling match with that one. But these bottom ones should zip out pretty easy. So what causes the damage like this? It's just age, wear and tear. Could be if you run off well water, this could be the hard water there. Here, this is on municipal water, so there are traces of chlorine in the water. Just over time, it weakens the structure of the metal. Judge on the style of construction and the skimmer I'm seeing in here, this pond is easily 20 years old, and that sort of corrosion and wear and tear is to be expected off a pond that old. So going back in with new stainless steel bolts and a new silicone seal, you're looking at another 15, 20 years easily. And then adding the silicone on the outside and inside of the bolts adds even more to that. As we bore the old hardware out, the head of this bolt isn't quite big enough to stop, and it could pull through the plastic and break the seal. So putting a washer on there makes the footprint twice the size effectively, so that it will catch rather, and not pull through the plastic. Makes for a tighter seal basically. Something I've added to the faceplate surgery process is taking what I call the pig stickers from the 1000 skimmer and setting them in the top two corners. If you remember from our skimmer install video, that just helps me keep the liner lined up, and I don't have to fight it nearly as much. And what it does in this application is I can now put my liner right back up, and it goes right back where it was. I don't have to fight it, I don't have to guess. The holes line right back up, so I'm not having to punch new holes in the liner. The process for attaching the faceplate is only different from a brand new skimmer in that we have to use the stainless steel bolts to replace the corroded hardware and the corroded bolts originally. So we have to use a ratchet and a nut driver for that, as opposed to just a regular Phillips head like we do when we put in a brand new skimmer. There you have it, gang. Faceplate surgery done and installed, in and out in a day. Basically the rest of the process right now is going to be get the silicone beads over the top of the bolts like you've seen in the skimmer install video. We're going to restack the rocks, we're going to rinse it, pressure wash, rinse it a couple times, get the water back in and fire it up. If you think your skimmer faceplate might be leaking or have issues, give us a call, shoot us an email, let us know. If you're curious as to the cost of something like this, a skimmer faceplate surgery starts at $1,500 and a biofalls faceplate surgery starts at $1,500. In the meantime, I'm gonna get back there and do a final walkthrough and get out of this homeowner's yard and let them enjoy their new skimmer faceplate, and I'm gonna grab some lunch. What I need you to do in the meantime is like, follow, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section below and let us know what you think. What projects do you want to see us work on in the future, and what do you want us to come do in your yard? I'm Uncle Trav. See you next time. Cheers.